So okay. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Center for Mentorship and Career Development, Kaduna State University, Kaduna, Nigeria, I welcome you all to today's Continuous Professional Development webinar. I'm Amina Mustafa, the Unit Head of Training and Capacity Building at the Center, and I will be serving as a moderator for this exciting and timely session. The theme for today's webinar is From Ideation to Publication, How Can AI Help in Research?
Perfect.
While our originally scheduled speaker, Mr. Ayush Garg, founder of AnswerThis, is unable to join us today due to unforeseen circumstances, we are very pleased and indeed privileged to have with us his co-founder and colleague, Mr. Ryan McCarroll, who will be representing him. Let me take a moment to introduce Mr. McCarroll properly. Mr. Ryan McCarroll is the co-founder and the chief marketing officer of AnswerThis. He is a seasoned researcher with a deep passion for improving how knowledge is created and shared. His mission is centered on empowering students and academics through better research systems. At AnswerThis, Ryan focuses on helping users genuinely benefit from the platform, whether it's learning to structure a literature review, exploring new research directions, or writing with clarity and confidence. He's also a strong advocate for ethical AI-powered tools that support rigorous, high-quality research at every stage. So, dear participants, as the presentation goes on, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. He will attend to them during the Q&A session. With that said, I would like to formally welcome Mr. Ryan McCarroll to lead us through his presentation. Mr. Ryan, you're most welcome. You have the floor.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be here today. And thank you so much for hosting this and having me. I'm super honored to show how we can use AI ethically in research from start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And throughout this presentation, feel free to note down any questions you may have into the Q&A section. And yeah, here we go. So this webinar or this presentation is primarily going to focus on how AnswerThis can be used for your research. It's the only tool currently available where you can receive help from the start, research ideation to that publication stage. So, where do we start? Well, first, let's look at the outline. So we'll be going through how to identify research gaps, first of all. So, in order to start your research successfully, you need to look at the space that you want to do research in, see the limitations of the work that's been done before you, and see where you can identify a research gap to then add on to the work that has come before you. And then, of course, we'll be working for the entire research process all the way up to reviewing your paper at the end. So starting off with research gaps, this has traditionally been done by collecting dozens of papers in your field, identifying the limitations, the future works, what they have worked on, and identifying areas of research that have maybe been missed out or need explored a little bit more. So the traditional way of finding research gaps is quite long, just because you have to dig through so much writing, you have to compile a lot of literature, and you need to do this regardless of if you use AI. But the major thing is, if you use AnswerThis, you'll be able to immediately get research gaps with citations, with over 20 citations backing the different research gaps that it gives you. We'll look at what this looks like later on as we go into the demo. But you can directly ask the AI to extract research gaps from a variety of papers that you already have, or you can ask it to identify research gaps by looking through research databases and starting from scratch as well. Moving on to paper search, this has traditionally been done through Google Scholar and some other research tools which you may have at your university as well. The problem with these are it can be hard to filter and get the exact paper that you need. In fact, it can be a very long process of reading through abstracts, going through multiple papers, and trying to get that semantic understanding. However, with AnswerThis, you're able to receive papers a lot more efficiently. You're able to sort by Q1 to Q4, so the quality of journal that you receive. You're also allowed to filter by the databases, and the prompt itself will be able to let AnswerThis identify the exact research papers that you need immediately. Now, of course, you can't just rely on everything that's given to you. It is highly recommended to go through each paper rigorously, make sure it's the type of research paper that you need. And then once you've confirmed all of that, you can go ahead and potentially add it to a citation map. Now, traditionally, if you want to make a citation map, you'll have to list out the papers, draw the connected papers, see the top contributing authors, and sort of map it out manually, which can take some time, but is an extremely useful tool to do. And AnswerThis also allows you to make these visual maps immediately by just inserting a paper. You'll be able to see the surrounded papers that are connected to it and add extra origin papers to that citation maps and keep on building from there. This is a great way to, one, see which are the base papers in your field. So what are the papers that all the other papers are building off of? And it also allows you to see the top contributing authors in your research field as well. So you can dive into there a little bit deeper. Next is the thesis statement. Of course, a thesis statement can mean a lot of things depending on which field you're in. So you'll probably have a criteria that's unique to the research that you're doing. But traditionally, you'll want to understand the findings, debates, and limitations of the papers that you have. And you want to note the themes and open questions to spot potential gaps that you will then further go on to explore in your paper. But in order to make this thesis statement yourself, it can be quite daunting. And so we can dive into a little bit with AnswerThis on how we can make a draft with citations backing that draft in order to make your thesis statement skeleton. And then from there, you can go in, you can edit it, add in your own tone, scope, and then obviously add in your defenses to your research here as well. Next is the research outline. This is extremely helpful for any research that you're doing. You want to make sure you rigorously do this one. When making a research outline, you want to dive into the different areas of research which you will be going into, the different experiments that you'll be carrying out and how those experiments will be carried out, as well as focus groups and other things that you may need. It's also very helpful to make a timeline within your research outline as well. And as you can see on the right-hand side, this is the AI editor from AnswerThis. And here you can add in your topic. So whatever your research topic may be, maybe it's what makes up a neutron. And then you can add in a description as well to dive into a little bit more of what you need. You can include here things like, can you make me a timeline for how I want to get from this stage of research to this stage of research? You could also add in description of what you want the research outline to mention, as well as some of the focus groups and experiments that you need as well. And then at the bottom here, you can also adjust the number of headings and subheadings that AnswerThis will use as well. Next, we've got the literature review. I'm sure this all scares you a little bit because it can be quite a daunting task to compile and synthesize all your research into one condensed literature review. Typically, this is skimming through your selected studies to get familiar with key methods, findings and theoretical approaches. And you want to group similar ideas and themes together whilst you're making this literature review, so that you can go ahead and outline each section and build on that. And as you can see on the left hand side, you can see a little sample of a literature review that AnswerThis made. As you can see, there's a little introduction bit there. It will include over 20 citations depending on your filters. So you'll be able to get a great start to your literature review draft. You'll be able to get the exact papers you need. With the AI editor, which might be not next, but with the AI editor, you'll also be able to add in citations, change the tonality of some of the text, and of course, put in your academic integrity and change what you need to change, so it's not just AI written. And that's also something I heavily want to mention as well now. A lot of these tools are extremely useful in making your research and building your research and making a lot more quality, but AI is here to help you and not replace you. And so you always want to make sure you're adding in your own twist, your own ideas, and your own authenticity, so you keep your academic integrity. Moving on next, this is actually my favorite tool that AnswerThis has. This is the data extraction. So if you've ever had like 20 papers and wished that you could just see what all the commonalities of these papers are at once, or want to extract data from all the papers at once, this is a great way to do it. So you can put in things into the extract data like research gaps or contributions or your own custom prompt, and it will go ahead and for each paper that you've uploaded or have in your library, it will go source by source and extract that piece of information that you were looking for. Moving on next, this is the AI editing section, which I mentioned before. Of course, this is a lot more rigorous than just putting in a prompt and changing the text a little bit. This isn't what the AI editor is mainly for, although that is one of its features, as you can see on the right-hand side. But from the AI editor, you can also add in citations, you can generate full outlines, and you can also search for papers directly from this AI editing section as well. This is very helpful, as you'll be able to pull more papers in, add extra text from those papers, and really just make your literature review more comprehensive, or any academic writing that you have for that matter. And yeah, jumping into the conclusion, conducting research is a step-by-step process that still requires your critical thinking, but tools like AnswerThis can help streamline and strengthen each stage. From identifying gaps to refining your writing, it supports and not replaces your academic work. And as you can see from the images below, there's also some other tools, such as that research gap finder, if you want to quickly identify the research gaps in your field. And one recent tool that we also added is this empathy tool. This was made in collaboration with 2 American universities, where we used one of their frameworks for peer reviews, which they call empathy. It's a 7-step it's a 7-step peer review method, where it will take your writing, it will review it by each stage's criteria, and then by the end, you'll have a lot of recommendations to work on with your academic writing. Really good tool, highly recommend. And thank you so much. This is the presentation section. Feel free to throw in any questions that you may have as you seen this presentation, and we'll be happy to answer it at the end. Perfect. So I'm going to be hopping into the demo after this. Before then, I do want to give you an opportunity to actually sign up to AnswerThis and use the free version. So in our demo bit, we'll be going through a lot of what you just seen in that presentation. and how to do it with AnswerThis. So if everyone can navigate to the Q&A section, I have just put in a link to AnswerThis. If you click through here, through this link and sign up, you'll be able to receive free credits and follow along in this demo section. So I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to sign up. If you've signed up, feel free to let me know in the Q&A section so I know it's fine to move forward. But please do sign up through the link in the Q&A section, and we will jump into the demo. Perfect, signed up. Perfect, great to see. Some of you have already signed up. That's excellent. I'll just give a few minutes for everyone else to catch up. Can we get a file? Does this include articles and papers for conferences? Great question. And I will be sure to show you the answer to that question in just a little bit. Oh, I see a lot of people have signed up now. I'm going to put the link in the chat again. Let me see if I can pin this. But please go to the Q&A section, find the link to AnswerThis, and we will enter into the demo section shortly here. Please, what is the ethical consideration in using this? Can one actually acknowledge this tool in one's research support report? Absolutely. So the ethical consideration with AnswerThis is that, of course, we don't do all the work for you. We're going to get you a boosted start. And for any stage of the research process, as you can see, there is help and support within AnswerThis to find papers, identify research gaps, build that skeleton for literature review. But at the end of the day, you need to put your own academic twist and integrity into the writing itself. So whether that's going through, typing up your authentic research ideas within your literature review and changing the wording to match how you would write it. Those are a few, or those are just a few of the important notes that you need to make sure you do. But once you've done those, you can indeed acknowledge the tool in your research report. And it's also very good to specify in that research support, if you can, that you use the tool to assist you, and not just do the work for you, of course. Okay. Can we sign up after the webinar? Absolutely. Everyone in the webinar will receive an email that will include the entire recording of this webinar, as well as the link to AnswerThis and your certificate once the webinar is finished. Okay, so I think a few of you have now signed up, and we are ready to head into the demo session. So if you can, I highly recommend opening AnswerThis on another page so you can follow along. But if not, it's completely fine. You'll be able to come back to this webinar in the recorded session. Okay, I've signed up already. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm going to share screen. Okay, so jump on over. So once you've signed up to AnswerThis, it'll look something like this. You'll have your main prompt bar as you would any other AI. In the middle here, on the left, you'll see the different tools. So a lot of this we went over, but AI Writer, there's a library here. You can store all the papers you find, or you can also upload your papers from Citaro or just PDF files or Mendeley. Essentially, anywhere you want to import papers from, you can do that here. And you can also see some of the other tools. But focusing on just the free version, all of this will be accessible to you. Starting off, I highly recommend that you use this prompt helper tool. So depending on what stage you're at in your research, it might change what prompt you might want to use here. So, as we seen earlier, there's this identify gaps in literature related to, and then we can go ahead and type in our research area, and we can use that for a prompt. We can also make a full literature review based on a research area. So I could say maybe atomic structures, just to put in a little example here. So once we have our prompt done, also another really important note to mention in this prompt bar, and a super cool tip that many people miss out, you can actually ask it to make tables. So you can say make tables with figures for electron charges and mass. We can do something like that. So we can make tables out of anything that we need. We can also go ahead and ask it to produce the answer in another language. We can ask it to bring sources from a different language as well. Or if we want to get from a specific journal, we can also specify that here too. So the next thing, which is super important that I want to pay your attention to, is this little type section in the bottom left here. So the auto is just our basic AI model. It's great for general queries, or if you just want to get used to what the AnswerThis AI model is like, you can go ahead and experiment here. If you want something more comprehensive, like a literature review or a thesis statement, you can go ahead and type and select this one here. Or if you want great answers to general research questions, I highly recommend the quick Q&A tool. It will use sources, it will use research papers in order to answer research questions very quickly. It's also great for identifying research gaps very quickly as well. Next, we've got the sources section. Here we can select what source we want. We can also choose to upload our own PDFs if we wish. So we can upload as many PDFs as we like. We can make a literature review based off those PDFs. We can find data that is common amongst all those PDFs, and essentially anything we need to do there too. Of course, we'll be on light mode here. And if we go to the more filter section, and this is probably the most important section, from here, we can adjust the minimum amount of citations that we want in our research papers that AnswerThis finds. We can also go to this choose databases section, and we can change this to include Semantic Scholar, PubMed, ArcSave, and we can also remove any of these research databases if we wish as well. Moving on, we can select government or EDU websites to scrape from, or if we want to scrape from every website, we can also select all here too. Each of the research papers and web search is updated every day. So if we head to the very bottom here, we see this publication date. So if we do want to see only the papers that were uploaded within the last 2 months, we can do that if we wish. But of course, that might not be a smart decision. So we might want to just see the most recent papers in the last 3 years. So we can select it to the first 2023. And finally, this is the journal quality section. You can adjust to what quality of journals you want AnswerThis to pull. So Q4 is being the least quality journals, and Q1 being the highest quality journals. So after we've made our question, we're happy with the filters, we can go ahead and search. I'm actually just going to pull up a literature review that I made earlier. This literature review was to identify gaps on how different cultures perceive AI. This is what it'll look like. As you can see, we have our citations. It's almost line by line citations here. If we're ever curious on what paper this came from, we can simply click, and it'll bring us to that paper on the right-hand side. From here, we can copy the citations. We can see how many times it's been cited. And we can also dive into the abstract here as well. Scrolling on, if we scroll to the very bottom, we can see 15 sources were used in this literature review. However, on the right-hand side, which shows all the papers that were used, if we scroll to the bottom, we notice that this is just page 1 of 31, and obviously there has not even been 31 citations here, never mind the 310 that AnswerThis is pulled. The reason there's so many papers here is if you go onto the pages, if we actually expand this a little bigger, these papers here on like the third page and beyond, these are additional reads. So these are papers that are related to our question, but weren't directly used in our literature review and are still incredibly helpful for when we want to make a literature review or we're gathering sources for our research. So if we drop out of here, some other things that we can do from this page is one, we can actually change this section into table view. So it'll look something like this. From here, if we expand this section, we can actually extract data. So as I was saying before, we have these little templates that we can extract. We can extract the methodology, limitations, research gaps, or if we really wanted, we can type in our own prompt for AnswerThis to extract from. But for now, let's just type in research gaps. We'll add in the column. Now, a really cool thing we can do is if we go to table view, we'll see that this column has been added on the right-hand side here. So this is going to take a little while to fill in since it is going over 310 different papers. So this should just take 1 minute there. But whilst that's loading, you can also change the citations that these papers appear in. So we can change that to Chicago. Similarly, at the bottom here, we can also change the citations to like APA, and we'll be able to see all the citations here have changed a little bit. And then if we open here, table view, we can see that the research gaps have been extracted here on the right-hand side. And so if we wanted to export this into a CSV, we can do that. We can also export these into a bid text as well. And the last thing I want to show you that you can do from this page is if you select a few of these papers, let's say we'll select the top 10. So we'll go through, select these. We can also just press select all if we wish to. But after we select the 10, we can click bibliometric analysis. And once we've done this, we can see the publications by year. So since AI is a relatively new thing, only really becoming popular in 2022, as we'd expect, all the research papers have been made from 2022 and beyond. And if we go down, we can see the most used words from all these papers. We can also see the citation impact, term frequencies. We can also see the authors that were used here. So Simone Grazini has been cited 40 times. So this might be an author we might want to look into a little bit more. You can also see this author as well, and you can sort of just keep on going down. And finally, the last thing, which is extremely useful, which you can do from here, is if you see this PDF available beside any of the sources, we can actually go ahead and click them. And this only works if the PDF is available, but after we've clicked these two papers, let's say, we can actually go to chat with selected. Now, once we've clicked into here, one of the papers actually has an incompatible PDF, so we'll remove these two. We'll actually use these two. Let's see how they do. Okay, it seems as if some of these papers don't have PDFs available. Let's just try going with just this one here. Okay. Typically, you should be able to do this. Let's see. maybe they've just been bad files. Let's check this one. Okay. How about you? Okay, so right now the PDFs aren't accessible. I'm not sure if that's if the databases that these PDFs belong to have stopped them. This was working literally an hour ago, so I'm not quite sure what this could be, unless one of the databases have. Oh, there we go. Must just been incorrect PDF formats, but as you can see, we have our PDF on the left-hand side. We can do this with multiple PDFs if we wish. We can scroll through. As you can see, there's a lot of data here. Very quantitative paper. So one thing that we can do, and I actually want to show this off from earlier, is say we have a table like this, and we want to extract the insights from just the K said 29 element there. I can answer this. I can say something like, can you make a table with the quantitative data related to K said 29 as seen in table 3. Okay, so if I ask it to do this, and a lot of people ask and say AI hallucinates way too much, and it is a massive issue. In almost like 99.9% of tools, hallucination is going to be a massive issue. So the answers themselves aren't going to be trustworthy. AnswerThis, and you've probably already seen this a little bit before, but and you'll see this exactly with the table, but AnswerThis only uses data that's directly given to it, that is beyond its AI model. So if you ask it a question like, can you make a table with the quantitative data related to KED said 29? And I can say this with almost certainty, it's going to pull the exact data points from this table and put it into a table again perfectly. And say you had multiple papers that all had different quantitative data for a particular point that you wanted to extract, you can upload all 3 papers into here and then ask AnswerThis to make a table, putting together all that data. And if you want to be double certain, you can go in, double check the tables, but it will pull out the data spot on almost every time. This will take a few seconds as it uses the same model as it uses for the literature review search. So you may have to just give it 1 minute here on the right, but you'll see that the output that it gives does pay off for the time waited. So we'll just give a few more seconds here. Whilst this is also loading, another thing that I quickly want to show you is this explain text feature below here. So if you're like me and you go into a new research area, you might find that a lot of the words you'll be unfamiliar with, and you find yourself looking up online, what does this mean? What does this mean? With AnswerThis, say we wanted to have all of this information into more basic terms, we can highlight this section and then press explain text. And from there, it'll describe and explain what this text is talking about in a more simplistic manner so we can get a better view of what this paper is talking about. So let's give a few more seconds here. It should be nearly done. In the meantime, feel free to try some of this stuff out yourself. You'll be able to access the chat with paper by uploading a PDF that you want to chat with, or by heading over to the literature review tool, putting in a search and then chatting with one of the papers that says the PDF is available. Should be nearly done here. I'm actually quite surprised it's taking a little longer. As I said before, it does use the literature review model, which is this model here, full review. So our child PDF will use this full review model. As you can see, it has given us a full table. If we expand this, and let's note down some of the figures. So if we go back to the paper, go down to table 3. Where was table 3? Swing down a little bit. So, we have depth 2,802. We have altitude 1.03%. So if we go into here, we'll see that it's labeled that exact amount. And I can almost guarantee, in fact, I can guarantee that if you go through each one of these figures, it'll be the exact same as what's listed here. It'll be able to do this with other quantitative data, which is just generally thrown out in the paper. For example, if we wanted to get this quantitative data into a table, we can also do that from here as well. The biggest thing is just to make sure you specify your prompt to reflect exactly what you want, and then AnswerThis will deliver you that detail. And let's see here. The last thing I want to show is, see if it loads here. I might not do it, actually. Okay, perfect. And then from here, you can also ask it general questions as you would GPT as well. And yeah, as far as the free section goes, you'll be able to access this. You'll have free credits available as well. And I know I mentioned thesis statement earlier. If you do want to make a draft for a thesis statement, you can go ahead, do that here. Make sure to prompt exactly what you need, and it will give you that outline backed with citations. And also another note is if you ask it a more broad question, you can expect to have more citations, but of course, it's going to be more general. So the same as GPT, what you prompted is what you will be getting out. But of course, as you can see here, it's going to be a lot more comprehensive than anything GPT or any other tool for that matter will give you. And yeah, the best practice is to try and use this to the best of your capabilities with some of the tips that we've shared today. And yeah, of course, there's all these other features. These are behind pro. These are for pro users. I will make that clear. So we won't be going over it in depth in this webinar, but just to show you, this is what the AI writer looks like. You also have your own personal library. You can also add projects in here. And then, of course, search papers, citation maps. You can make diagrams as well. And then, of course, the mini tool section, where you can also make your own AI tool in here. You can give it, your prompts, what you need it to do, as well as the sources that your AI tool will use. And yeah, that is the demo of AnswerThis. I hope you have all found that useful and that you were able to get some tips out of there as well. This whole section will be uploaded and sent to you via email later on. So do keep an eye out for that. And yeah, more than happy to dive into the Q&A now. And yeah, if you do have any questions, make sure to mention it in the Q&A section. I'm just about to go through all your queries. So please do send in your questions there now. But yeah, hope you all found this super helpful. I love it already. Thanks. No worries at all, Frank. Really glad you enjoyed it. Scroll to the top here and see what questions there are. you will all receive the material afterwards, recorded, plus your certificates. Let's see. So how long is the free version? Through this link, you'll be able to get free credits. So you'll have the free version infinitely. You'll also have your credits renewed each month. So you'll be able to get your free searches as well at the end of each month. What about the slides? Can you share? Can you also share them? Yes, I'm more than happy to share them in the email as well. That's actually a great reminder. I'll make sure to do that. Thank you for noting. How do one use the AI to get a school project done? It depends on the school project. Of course, if it's academic writing that you're doing, you can easily make a draft in here and change it to your academic integrity or your academic tonality and what you need it to say. How can researchers, oh, I've already answered that. How can you avoid plagiarism issues? That's a great question. And again, like I said, and Amina will say this to you as well, AI is here to assist you and not replace you. So as you can see, you can get great results from AnswerThis. In fact, similar to what researcher would produce sometimes. But of course, this will still need to be edited. You'll still need to change the wording to fit yours. You also have to foolproof the AI text itself. So you can't just blindly trust what it says. You have to go in there, see if it mentioned everything that you wanted to mention. If it didn't mention everything, go in there, edit it, add in your own citations, and really make it yours. AI will help you a lot here and make a more quality research for you. But of course, you want to go in there and do a lot of the work yourself as well. Let's see. How do we register and get a certificate? You can register and receive your certificate by signing up through this link here. I just dropped it into the Q&A section. I'll also respond to your message. How can we reach to you if we have questions? So I will be emailing everyone after this, but if you have any burning questions or just want to chat, always happy to just talk talk about research or talk about anything. Feel free to email me at Ryan@AnswerThis. Can I use AnswerThis in other languages other than English? Great question, and absolutely you can. Apologies if I didn't mention before, but just share my screen real quick. So from this new query section, you can ask it to, literature review on atomic structures, and you can say produce the writing in French, and you can also like ask it to like pull from only French sources as well, and this will make sure that it's still answering your question, but it's going to write it in French, and it's also only going to pull from French sources. You can do this for any language. I just use French as an example, but this is how you can produce writing in another language. Is there quarterly subscriptions or 6-month subscriptions? Unfortunately, there's only yearly, but it's discounted at 60%. If anyone is having issues or needs to upgrade to the pro version, feel free to reach me on my email. I'm also more than happy to assist with that. But of course, I tried to give everything that you need through the free version. So, if AI editor or these other tools are something that you need, then certainly feel free to reach out and I can try and assist with that upgrade. Yes, the AI is free. Everything that I showed you in the demo, apart from the other tools, is paid, but everything else is completely free, or everything that I showed is completely free. Does it analyze data? Absolutely. That is the extract data section. So you can type in any data that you want from there, and it will extract it for you. How do you prevent AI detection? I believe I've answered that well. Let's keep going. Are there videos on YouTube that can serve as a guide to answer this? Absolutely. We do have our own channel. This is actually where the webinar will be uploaded. So you can see lots of tutorials on our YouTube channel. We will be adding a lot more there since AnswerThis consistently updates every month. That's also an important note as well. Essentially, every tool that you've seen on AnswerThis has been recommended by PhD students. So if you ever need something or have like an idea for a tool that can be used in AnswerThis, always feel free to reach out to me on email and give me any of those recommendations, because we will absolutely update it and add in your suggestions. Does AnswerThis run statistical analysis like eViews and Stata? It will do statistical analysis. It will give you bibliometric analysis, as you could see, with like the citation, publications. If you want more numerical analysis, you'd have to specify that inside of your prompt. Do you have any special discounts for students? We actually do have a special discount, and we will be sending that after the webinar as well. So definitely keep an eye out on your emails for discounts, recordings, and the presentation afterwards too. I have a huge literature review that I want to extract in a particular topic, which AI is best for my work. Depends what you mean by extract. If you have the literature review in your PDF and you want to get more information from it, you can upload it as a PDF on AnswerThis and then put in your prompt in order to get whatever you need. What can you get from the team section? So that's a great question. I didn't go through this because it's a pro. Oh, well, it's not fully pro tool actually, but it is a pro tool for a lot of its features. So if we go to the team section, say you're working with someone or you're doing a project with some members in your university, you can go ahead and add them to a research team like this. From here, you can do things like share your library with them. So I can share my entire library that I've made with that research team if I wish, and go ahead, send them invitations. They'll have access to all the research papers that I've built in this library. I can also share my literature reviews with them and collaborate with them within AnswerThis. So it's a great tool if you're working in a team on a project or need to do peer reviews. This is a great place to do that. Let's see. But it seems much more theoretical. I guess. So, Jibril, for your question about having AnswerThis be a lot more specific on a field, I definitely recommend to specify what fields you need work done in when you make your prompt for AnswerThis. And it will give you a lot more specialized answer. And also, say you're in medical, you might want to use PubMed for your research database. And you might want to take advantage of that research databases section and change it to what you need there as well. Let's keep going here. I see a lot of questions. I'm trying to get through as quick as possible here. Plagiarism. Oh, I guess no, I've already gone for plagiarism. Let's see. can we use AnswerThis to write systematic review papers? Yes, absolutely. Of course, it's not going to be extremely comprehensive. AnswerThis will probably get you about 20% of the way there for a systematic review paper, if that's what you're making with that prompt. So you can give it a prompt, tell it exactly what you need. You'll probably get a paper with 30 citations and a bunch of topics with some information below that. Once you have that, I recommend adding it into the AI editor. From there, you can build on more citations. You can ask it to build out more sections and make it more comprehensive in order to flesh out that systematic review. And from there, it'll be editing into your own writing, adding your own citations, and you will have your systematic review just like that. Can AnswerThis give us access to databases like Elsevier and other global databases? AnswerThis will give you access to every single database that exists, but it won't be able to access papers behind a paid wall. You'll still have to ask your university for those papers. You can upload those papers and answer this as PDF. We don't look at your library. We don't look at your account or anything like that. So everything that you have is yours. So don't be afraid of uploading PDFs of papers that you have in order to meet criteria. But yes, you'll be able to access any database you need. But if your paper is behind a paywall, then you'll only get access to the abstract. Just gonna quickly run through these. What if I use the AI and AnswerThis for my work? Will it not be scored as AI generated? If yes, can I humanize it using AnswerThis? So we did have a humanized tool at one point. We did actually end up removing it. It did work really well. The reason we did remove it is because we didn't want students abusing the tool. AnswerThis, if you use the AI and AnswerThis, it will give you the work that you need. In order to score it as not AI generated, I do recommend either one, using our paraphraser tool, which you can find in the mini tool section. I'll actually go ahead and show you that here. But the biggest note is to maybe use the AI editing section or Google Doc in order to change the tonality and the text to genuinely give your own academic authenticity. But if you do want to use an AI paraphrasing tool, you can use this one. It has a bunch of different tonalities that you can use. You can enter your text into here, change the length that you want the AI to increase or decrease your text by. And this variation on the right-hand side, if it's low variance, it's not really going to vary from your original writing too much. So your original text to the paraphrase text will stay pretty much the same. But if it's a high variance, then you can expect almost every word to be changed. I'll take 2 more questions here. Just go through. Can AI tools assist in identifying suitable journals for publication based on research topic? Yes, that's actually a great question to use the Q&A model of AnswerThis for. So if you use the Q&A model, you can give it your research topic and then ask it, what journal should I publish something like this in? And it will give you a really nice answer. I'll take one last question here. Can AnswerThis be used to determine the materials and methodology needed for research work? Yes, it can pull. I actually recommend using internet as a source if you were to use this, or just use EDU websites as a source and ask AnswerThis this very question. what methodologies needed for research work. If you enter in, what your research field is, what you're planning to do your research on, and then asking to search EDU websites to find methodology that's suitable for your research, you'll get a really nice understanding of what you need there. And finally, can AnswerThis give access to current and historical data on stock exchanges? Yes, it can. That's not its primary focus, as it is a research tool, but you will be able to find different stock exchanges and data there. You just need to be specific with your prompt, and it will go ahead and pull that for you. And yeah, I see that it's hit 10 o'clock. That's all from me. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this webinar with you, and thank you so much again, Amina, for hosting this. And yeah, do you have any final words?
Wow. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that insightful presentation. Just really impressive. On behalf of the Center for Mentorship and Career Development, Kaduna State University, Nigeria, we appreciate your time and expertise, and we look forward to future collaborations that continues to inspire growth and professional development. And our sincere thanks to all participants for your engagement and presence. I hope you all sign up to answer this and utilize the free credits allotted to you and continue to use it going forward. Thank you very much once again. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Amazing. And yeah, thank you so much again for having me on. It's been an absolute honor doing this, and yeah, we'd love to collaborate with you guys in the future as well. I think it's great that you're so passionate about including these new technologies and helping your research. And yeah, it's been an absolute honor walking through AnswerThis. And yeah, couldn't thank everyone more for attending. And yeah, wishing you all a beautiful weekend. And I will be in contact through email, so do keep an eye out for that. Alrighty, everyone. I'm going to drop the link for free credits one last time in the chat, but thank you so much again for attending. It's been absolutely amazing, and yeah, I'll see everyone later. Alrighty.